Once confined to fantasy and science fiction, time travel is now simply an engineering problem. Michio Kaku. It's nighttime. Your mind spins like a merry-go-round, trapped in a relentless whirlwind. It's coming harder now, like a galloping horse, a pain you can't seem to let go of. And it's pushing you to the edge of madness. Another sleepless night. Last night, you saw Emily, a wild hallucination driving you crazy. It was almost certainly madness, a lucid dream from a tortured mind. But if it meant being with her, then going crazy was worth it. Madness the preferable alternative. The morning footing is unsteady and precarious, and you awake exhausted. Waiting for the grogginess to pass, it feels like you're in prison, stuck in a chasm of your own making. Everything unfolds like a dark dream, or as if you were stuck in one. You put the small case in your pocket, the vial of morphine tablets. Upon doing so, at that moment is when you feel your blood pressure rise, pounding in your eardrum. You'll be seeing Kevin shortly, and the pressure is on. This is perhaps your only chance, your final attempt in unveiling the truth before Sarah dies. It's 10 a.m., and Sarah will be dead in a few hours. If this gun did exist, if there was really a Luger hidden in the closet, it's not out of the question that Jeff is telling the truth. It's also not impossible that the culprit is none other than Kevin himself. Improbable indeed, but not impossible. You think back to your conversations with Jeff while driving to the Douglas home. Despite his rude behavior and spur-of-the-moment insults, he didn't strike you as a murderer. And his testimony seemed sincere to you. A top-notch con artist, perhaps, but not a cold-blooded murderer. You're thinking you must be nuts, a real murderer. Really? You're a writer, for heaven's sake. You invent them in your novels. Perhaps you should stick to storytelling. And leave the police work to others. Flashes of light suddenly dart before your eyes, and a sharp sound makes your eardrums shudder. You immediately head for the side of the road, stopping the car. You're holding it together the best you can, there on the verge of falling unconscious. You brace yourself. You close your eyes and see light swirling behind your eyelids, like shimmers of coiled snakes pouncing all around. And the sound within your head, getting stronger and stronger, is like a tempest in your ear. You barely avoid passing out. Then, gradually, like the rising of the tide, the coiled snakes slowly dissolve, and the distortion subsides. The roadway comes back to life, and the sound of cars heightens your senses. As you leave the roadside, you're fully aware that your condition is precariously close to coming unglued. You're driving on the very same road where, a few weeks earlier, you had your terrible accident and where your life was forever altered. A few minutes later, you park the Mustang in front of a large, austere-looking, towering residence. The Douglas home is imposing and strange. You figured it would have resembled a public institution or even a small-town hospital. But the establishment comes across more as a dark mansion than a place of kneeling straight out of one of your horror stories. The home of a mad scientist. At the front desk, a thin, middle-aged woman stares at you sternly. The next order of business is the visitation form. And you are? My name's Jacob King, one of Kevin's distant cousins. I called yesterday. I have an appointment with him. Yes, I was expecting you. According to our internal records, it's been 5 years since Kevin received a visitor. So ready yourself, it might come as a shock to him. 5 years? That's right. Unfortunately, it's not very rare, but it's very sad. Patients forgotten by family members. As such, I took the liberty of bending the rules a bit. You're only the second person to visit him in almost a decade, so I'm pretty sure we're okay. That said, I won't be giving Kevin his meds right away. This way, you can have a better conversation with him. He may appear a little more distracted than usual, so take it easy with him, okay? If he gets too frenzied, we'll have to cut it short. Understood. Your head bandage. Are you hurt? I mean, are you all right? No big deal. A stupid tumble down a flight of steps. Follow me. You accompany the custodian up a large, magnificent marble staircase. It strikes you as strange, such resplendent surroundings for an establishment of this kind. You also notice a baby grand at the bottom of the steps. The Douglas home is, without a doubt, a throwback to an era of a very different time. Once upstairs, at the first intersection, you turn right and enter a wide, ornate corridor as you marvel at the dark rosewood paneling. Down the hallway is a pair of massive, imposing doors made of solid oak. They're singularly spectacular. The custodian suddenly comes to a stop. She pauses at the threshold of an entryway. Her demure size, in contrast to the doorway, seems disproportionately modest, and it is. A plaque made of bronze is elegantly fastened at eye level. There's an inscription on it, an engraving with raised letters. You suddenly get the impression you're meeting your bank manager rather than a patient in a mental institution. Custodian knocks but doesn't wait, entering without breaking stride. You have a visitor, Kevin, sitting on a green armchair at the far end of this large, immaculate white room. You notice a lean, middle-aged man looking out the window, staring into nothingness.
Thank you, Maria.
He turns his head and looks at you suspiciously. His brown eyes look you over, up, and down, and there's a noticeable pout on his countenance. He isn't bad-looking, far from it. He has a sort of nonchalant, ageless quality about him. His lanky, Porter-line, athletic physique seems well taken care of. You notice that even his fingernails are manicured, and his hair is styled with considerable care. Everything in this small room exudes order and sterility. Wearing a white shirt with matching trousers, his ashen skin, when compared to the neatness of the room, is almost dark by contrast. I'll leave you with your visitor, Kevin. If there's anything you need, I won't be far. Thank you, Maria.
Who are you, sir?
Kevin watches you suspiciously. I'm a writer. My name is Jacob King, and I'm writing a book about Sarah's story. I was wondering if you could help me understand this whole thing better, the way her life ended up. There's nothing to understand, sir. Can I ask you a few questions? Kevin suddenly breaks eye contact, his gaze moving towards the bandage around your head.
Your head. You're bleeding.
Kevin points a trembling index finger where the bandage around your head now exudes a red stain on it. As you touch the edge of the dressing, you notice that the fabric is sticky, staining your fingers. The cut widened under the bandage, and asking for assistance isn't an option. If the custodian notices your condition, they'll never allow you to continue the conversation. Don't worry, Kevin. It's nothing at all. I took a small tumble down a flight of steps. That's about it. Nothing to worry about. You look really messed up. You should ask Maria to give you a new bandage. Kevin's on the verge of calling out to the custodian. Wait, Don't worry, Kevin. I'll have my bandage adjusted later. I really need to talk to you. I just want to ask you a few questions. Afterward, I'll leave you alone. I promise. Kevin nervously drums his fingers on the armrest. It's up to you. But hell, why the rush? Why now? Please, I just need to ask you a few questions about Sarah. You think I killed her, right? Why would I believe that? I don't know. Before. A lot of people thought that. Before what? Before Jeff was arrested. Since then, everyone believes that he's the one who committed the crime. Didn't he? Is this not the case? Myself was just glad people stopped believing that I murdered my sister. But no, it wasn't Jeff who killed her. So who then? Didn't like Jeff. He was mean to me when we were kids. He used to call me the little nutcase, but he didn't kill Sarah. Kevin, this is important. Who then? I really don't want to talk about it. I'm tired. You're hiding something. Jeff murdered his wife, and he was Sarah's boyfriend when she was killed. How can you say he didn't kill Sarah? He's obviously the ideal culprit. Maybe he killed Lisa, his wife, I don't know. But he didn't murder Sarah. No, he didn't kill my sister. You'll have to explain to me why then. I can't write a story based on vague guesses. I need actual evidence. What? What the hell? Do I care about your stupid book? Did you bring me a poo publishing contract, Mimis? Mr. Big Shot? Kevin, I'm writing this book no matter what. And when it comes to Jeff, if you don't want him to be wrongly accused for the second time when this book comes out, accused of a crime he didn't commit, you have to tell me why. I'm honest. Honestly, I don't care if you accuse him in your book, Mr. Jacob. Because when your book comes out in bookstores, Jeff will have been dead for a while. He's going to be executed very soon. Am I wrong? Look, Kevin, even though we can't change his fate at this point, I think Jeff would have wanted me to clear his name. Why not tell me the truth? Kevin lowers his head, looking at the ground, rocking nervously in his chair. I thank you for your visit, Mr. Jacob. But I have nothing more to say. Kevin, I know it hasn't been easy for you, that you've been ridiculed by others, but please, I need you to trust me. I think I can help Sarah. Kevin leans forward, giving you a dubious look. Help Sarah. You want to help Sarah. You hit your head too hard, Mr. Jacob. You're crazier than I am. Goodbye, sir,
Maria!
and good luck.
Maria!
No, not right now. Wait. How's Kevinosaurus? Kevin looks at you utterly stunned. The bedroom door opens, and the custodian comes in. Mr. Kevin, did you call for me? No, everything is fine, Maria. Thank you. Very good, sir. If you need anything at all, just let me know.
Kevinosaurus. How do you know?
Sarah that used to, who used to, call me like that? Look, Kevin, right now, I simply can't explain everything to you. You need to trust me. I just want the truth. In any case, you have nothing to lose. Who says? What the heck do you know? What if? If I was the one who killed Sarah, would I still have nothing to lose? Is that the case? Is that what happened? Yes. So you're the murderer? Yes. A small vein under Kevin's eye slowly begins to throb, like it's about to explode. Tell me what went down, Kevin. Please, I implore you, we have very little time. The dizziness you felt earlier hits you hard, and the bandage around your head feels wet and sticky. Before long, a drop of slimy blood oozes out from the gauze, hitting the otherwise pristine wooden floor. Round and round the room becomes awash in a murky haze, but it soon passes as you hear Kevin uttering these words.
Yes, I did killed her, Mr. Jacob. What are you going to do now? Are you going to call the police?
I don't intend on calling anyone. All want is the truth, and you don't need to be afraid of me. I killed her, it's true. I have to show you something. Please, Kevin, show me. Kevin reaches under his shirt and pulls out a pendant. A small key! He walks towards a small shelf by the window. Next to it, there's a bookshelf covered in sunlight. As you follow him with your eyes, the intense light causes your migraine to intensify, a cruel tempo pounding on your temples. Kevin grabs an object you can't altogether visually decipher. Afterwards, he returns to his chair, sitting calmly. A small treasure chest is there on his lap. It's all my fault. Kevin unlocks the box with a soft click. He opens the lid. You notice a pile of old papers at the bottom of the chest. Sarah was right. No normal-sized revolver could have fit in this tiny case. Kevin reaches for a stack of papers and begins caressing them as if holding a favorite pet. It's a gift from my daddy, my treasure maps. He pulls one out randomly. I remember this one. It led me to a Rubik's Cube that was concealed in the clearing behind our house. 20 steps to the south, 15 steps to the east. And then, in the zenith of the day, under the shade of the great pine tree, you'll find your treasure there. Yes, and I remember this one. This time it was a red and blue styrofoam plane. Kevin, please, we're short on time. At the moment, I don't see the connection. What do these treasure maps and Sarah's death have in common? It's my fault. That's when the tears start coming, a lot of them, flowing down Kevin's face. His grip is tightening on the treasure chest. The intensity is such that it begins splintering the wood, and his knuckles are turning white. He's on the verge of having a breakdown, of falling apart. It's a critical moment. At this juncture, if anything goes wrong, it will be the end of the interview, and the truth will be lost. It's all my fault. Hysteria is lurking around the corner, the panic setting in, and his words become muffled. Explain it to me, Kevin. Don't worry, everything is going to be okay. I should have shown it to her. I should have shown it. I didn't show her. I should have shown it to her. It's my fault. Shown what, Kevin? I don't understand. Help me to understand. Shown the letter. What letter? Kevin starts flipping through the 20 or so treasure maps he had accumulated. He then picks out a visibly different sheet of paper, and it didn't come from white cardstock. It was from a yellow notepad. It's Daddy's letter. I've never shown it to anyone. Your father's letter? On this particular morning when Sarah went to school, she would have typically gone through the garage, her usual route to get to the car. And Daddy knew that, but not this particular morning. No, not this morning. Jeff drove by to take her to Call College. And later that day was when I found him. I was looking for my Starsky, and Hugh Hutch car. My daddy had given it to me. I remembered that I'd drawn a race track in chalk for my toys on the garage floor. I was right. My car was there, and Daddy was there too. Daddy had hung himself using hemp rope. A black garbage bag was on his head. He didn't want us to see him, not like that. In the garage, on a work table, there was a letter. Your father wrote a suicide note? Yes, a letter. And you haven't shown it to anyone? I kept it as a treasure. Nothing written for me in the letter, just for Sarah. Always just for Sarah. And I became jealous, so I decided to hide it. As time passed, the jealousy waned. But I was now ashamed to have hidden it in the first place. Itro truly wanted to show it to her, but I never had the courage. Sarah died before I could show her the letter. How does this explain Sarah's death? I don't understand.
I killed her, it's true. But I'm not the murderer.
You see, no one killed Sarah, Mr. Jacob. What do you mean? What do you mean no one killed Sarah? Are you kidding me or what? Deep disappointment hits you like a torrent of despair. Your feeble attempts in trying to find Sarah's murderer after speaking with Kevin make you feel sick to your stomach. You who thought you had found Sarah's assassin, it's all been reduced to the ramblings of a medicated nutjob. Then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it clicks. You understand what Kevin is getting at, and it hits you like a ton of bricks. It wasn't a murder. That's what Kevin was trying to say, and your heart pounds faster and faster. He believes Sarah committed suicide. But how? They never found the murder weapon. It's impossible to commit suicide in such a manner unless she had an accomplice. She took Daddy's gun. I knew where it was hidden. The next day, it was gone. Why didn't you say anything? It wouldn't have changed anything. Told my mom about the missing gun. But she forbade me to talk about it. Why? A while back, Sarah took out a very generous life insurance policy in the event of a murder. We would receive a lot of money. But for a 5 suicide, we wouldn't get a penny. Mom told me that it wouldn't change a thing, that it was too late anyway. When the Ins.Dot Insurance Company paid us out, Mom put the entire amount into my bank account. That's why I can live here. The Douglas home. It's not for just any type of weirdo. Only rich crazies can live here. Mom had already lost her husband along with her daughter. I think she tried to save her remaining son with the insurance money. Please don't judge her. What would you have done? She wouldn't have allowed a stranger to be convicted, I'm sure of it. But since they hadn't arrested anyone at the time, she felt it was unnecessary. I also believe it wasn't just for the money. She didn't want people to know her daughter had killed herself, a husband, and a daughter, who both commit suicide. That's a great shame for a mother. I still don't understand the connection to the letter, and it doesn't eliminate the murder weapon problem. After all, she couldn't have disposed of it herself. I'm afraid, Mr. King, when it comes to the rest. I don't have all the answers. Mom is long dead now, so you can write the truth. But what truth, exactly? You know, in my daddy's letter, he never mentions me. Always just for Sarah. I was merely the insane child who hears voices, the Oakland madman. Not even a word to me. So I took it. I kept it hidden. I was consumed with rage, with jealousy. Even towards the end, during his last moments, he didn't even think of me. I think if Sarah had been able to read this letter, things would have been different, you know. His hands trembling. Kevin hands you the faded yellow note. You can take it, monsieur. Mr. Jacob, I don't need it anymore. You can put this in your book if you want. If you want to. In a few months, Lil B, discharged from here. Very little insurance money is left, and the Douglas home doesn't tolerate freeloaders. I probably be placed in one of those insane hospices.
The view. I like to watch the river.
Your head. It really needs attention. There's a puddle of blood on the floor, and it takes you by surprise. You're cognizant of the fact that the bandage now feels like a damp towel around your head. Thanks for everything, Kevin, but I really have to go now. Should be thanking you, Mr. Jacob. I've been wanting to ease my conscience for the longest time. You rise to your feet in a precarious motion, which causes you to sway. You then make your way towards the door, bloodied and lightheaded across the room. Kevin yells,
I never took the stamp!
The stamp? In the hallway, you keep your face at an angle while running into Maria, hiding the oozing part of your bandage. You can't stay a minute longer. Sarah's fate is approaching fast, and you're running out of time. You have to get to her for the last time. Thanks for everything, Maria. Tell Kevin Real be back to see him soon. Mr. King, please, wait. I have to accompany you. I'm sorry, I'm in a hurry. There's an intersection at the end of the corridor. When you get to the stairs, you stumble on the first step while reaching for the railing. Holding it tight, you barely escape, tumbling down the staircase a second time. You breathe a sigh of relief. Indeed, once a week is more than enough. But it doesn't last long. Within earshot, while heading down the stairs, Maria hasn't relented. She's chasing after you, and she sounds distraught. Mr. King, please, wait for me. You bolt for the exit and head straight for the car. Tires screeching. The old Ford leaves the smell of burnt rubber behind it. You catch a glimpse of Maria waving in the distance, her arms spinning like a windmill, and you hit the accelerator, and it all begins to fade from memory dissipating in your rearview mirror. The brightness of the amber sun, which is unbearable, is directly in front of you, and the glare is affecting your vision just like before. It causes you to veer off the center line that separates the oncoming traffic. You sway too far to the left. Your mind is racing? A suicide? But a pistol doesn't vanish by itself. You make a course correction, your mind racing. What if it was Kevin? Indeed, he had the opportunity. But what would his incentive be? You pass the exact spot where it happened, where Emily breathed her last. It hadn't left the asphalt, the skid marks, nor the image of your wife staring at you open-eyed. You couldn't get there in time to close them. The horror of it, echoing from the mountains, howling still, the crumpling of the metal, it hasn't left you. But that was then, and this is now. It's getting late, and little time remains in order to get things right with Sarah, to speak with her. One last time. You'll have to deal with Billy White later on. For now, there's another priority. There was a time when you would have believed that being vengeful was something reserved for those individuals typically prone to violence. But having suffered the irreparable pain of your family being ripped away from you, that sentiment doesn't hold true for you anymore. The aim is no longer to win the game. There's no longer a game to win. All the pieces are gone, along with the chessboard. What remains is a brokenness, a few remaining shards, and a last push towards making things right. With every step towards inevitability, the walls are closing in. It's personal, and your own inner scales of justice are tilting towards reprisal. If that isn't enough, you have a heightened sense of anguish, the imbalance pushing you towards the edge. You weigh your options. Total forgiveness or total revenge. But it's just not there. The strength to forgive. No, the buck stops here. The left side of your face is now racked with pain, the gash on your head creating a discharge. It's seeping something ugly, a black like goo, running down the length of your face. But it manages to finally coagulate where it runs its course, creating a swollen bump under your scalp. You're finally home. At long last, bracing yourself as you exit the car, you slump down into the gravel, sitting there alongside the wheel well, elbows on your knees, hands on your face. Your eyes begin to close. You're back in your bed, and the fragrance is unmistakable. The scent of citrus, it's everywhere. She's right there with you. It's Emily, and you're holding her close. You're not sure what's real anymore. My love. There in your bedroom, beneath the sheets, you raise the linen comforter. You stare at her naked body, staring just long enough to remember the moment, a moment undaunted by time. She wraps her arms around you. I love you so much. Emily reaches for your hand, kissing your fingers, her eyes suddenly filling with tears. You have to do it, Jake. Do what? I would love to stay here with you. So would I, my love. For all eternity. But it's impossible. There's so little time, Jacob. You have to do it. Emily, what do I have to do? Wait. She kisses you on the forehead, akin to a goodbye kiss. And despite wanting to stay locked in her embrace, at that moment, you know it can't last.
Billy White. You have to kill him.
Opening your eyes while leaning against the car fender, your head bowed. It comes to you, a source of strength, and you gradually rise to your feet. Blue skies emerge and the haziness departs. You wish you could have stayed with her. You just don't want to be here. Seized by a sudden burst of panic, you glance at your watch. 7:30 p.m. 15 minutes left. So little time, you have to get to Sarah right away. Trudging the best you can to make it to the front door, you burst through it, your keys dropping on the floor. You rush into the living room and head straight for the talkie, shaking. Sarah! Sarah, you there? Sarah? The static sizzles, but there's no answer. Sarah, please, answer me. Sarah?
Jacob, here you are. Are you okay?
No, it's not going very well. My head really hurts. It might be serious, I'm not sure. You need to see a doctor, Jacob. This isn't a joke. Please, don't take this lightly. I know. But listen, I chatted with Jeff. and visited with Kevin. I can't believe it, Kevin. How's he doing? He's just fine, Sarah, but we're short on time. Furthermore, I've discovered a few things. I don't think neither Jeff nor Kevin murdered you. What are you getting at, Jacob? I think I discovered the murderer. Really? Who? You know, it dawned on me. You have to die tonight, Sarah. Even so, you don't seem frightened in the least, and I think you know the reason. You're wrong, Jacob. I am frightened. Don't be, Sarah. Your secret is safe with me. Your brother got the insurance money 30 years ago. In fact, very little of it remains. So, even if the truth does come out, he's already been taken care of. What do you mean, Jacob? If you committed suicide, don't worry. The insurance money has already been paid. And besides, Kevin already knows the truth. He figured it out. He couldn't have. But how? The shoebox. The location of the Luger your father had hidden. Kevin, like you, knew exactly where it was. He basically put 2 and 2 together. Shit! Explain yourself, Sarah. I think I deserve at least that much.
The hell with it. Yes, it's true. It's true. I'm the murderer. I'm the culprit.
But why, Sarah? Why? You're asking me why? Because have a shitty life, Jacob. A miserable existence. It's that simple. My father abandoned us. My mother went nuts. And my brother is completely removed from reality. I don't want to go on like this, Jacob. I really don't. Financially, I don't make nearly enough to support both Kevin and my mom. So I got this idea. To give them a better life through an insurance policy. A better future. To finally give my brother the kind of care he truly deserves.
I apologize for wasting your time, Jacob.
I haven't wasted my time, Sarah, and I have something to share with you. You take out a small yellow-stained letter from your blood-stained pocket. Have a letter for you. A letter? What do you mean, Jacob? What are you talking about? A letter from your father. From my father? That's impossible. Kevin kept it all these years, tucked away in his treasure chest. That morning, when he found your father in the garage, he found this note by his side, but he never showed it to you. He didn't want to show it to you out of jealousy. At any rate, would you like me to read it to you? A letter from my daddy? Sarah's voice cracks, the breach breaking like the coming floodwaters, and you can sense the tears rolling down her cheeks. Do you want me to read it to you?
My daddy, he left me a letter? Yes, please.
You unfold the letter carefully, feeling the weight of the words to come. My dearest Sarah, there's no easy way to tell you this, but I'm checking out today for good. For some time now, I've had several appointments at the St. Peter's Hospital. I hid it from you and your mother, forgive me. I just didn't want anyone to know about it. You'll find me this morning, hanging on this rope. Don't look, and more importantly, don't remove the bag from my head. I don't want you to see me like this. Truth is, I have a brain tumor. Unfortunately, it's inoperable. I've already started to lose my mind, parts of it anyway, and it's not going to improve. Doctors say that I should expect changes in my personality, and then gradually, I won't even be able to recognize my own children, and it's more than I can bear. I'm convinced this is the only way left, the best solution possible. I have a clear picture of what's going to happen to me, a man who won't be able to recognize his own children, a monster perhaps. A senile fool saying things I can't even imagine. No, I've thought about it, I can never let this happen. Sarah, I'm not killing myself. Lum already dead. I'm just speeding up the clock a little, putting an end to things. I've caused enough pain in this life, and enough is enough. I love you more than you know, more than life itself. And I know you'll find the strength to continue without me. Tell Kevin and Mom that I love them too, and I always will, forever. Forgive me, Sarah. P.S. One last thing, in my closet. Be sure to take out my stamp collection. You know, the ugly green album with the embossed gilding. On the third page, there's a stamp depicting a sailboat. Listen carefully. It's extremely rare, a collector's edition, and it's highly valuable. You can get a lot of money for it. I love you with all my heart. Your daddy, always. You stand there, the letter in your hands, as silence falls again. She cries quietly on the other end of the line, absorbing the words of her late father, words that change everything.
My God.
Your father loved you, Sarah.
My God.
Don't go through with it, Sarah. Charles would have wanted you to live, and that stamp might hold the key. It can change your destiny. You won't need the insurance money anymore. I'm begging you, don't go through with it, Sarah. I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm totally lost. Talk to me, Jacob. Talk to me. When we first spoke, do you remember this notion you had? This notion that I might be here to save you. It wasn't a dream, Sarah. You were onto something. But here's the catch. It wasn't from a murderer. It was from you. I won't, Jacob. I promise. I won't go through with it. My God. Sarah gasps for air as she begins to sob. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you. I'm really grateful you're not going through it. But there's still something that's bothering me, a part of the puzzle that isn't adding up. Sarah, how did you make the gun disappear? It couldn't have vanished by itself. Did you have an accomplice? No accomplice. My plan was perfect. But how then? A rope, a gun, and a gallon of water. I really don't understand. The plan was to go to Ferguson Bridge on this very evening, and upon arriving there, to tie the Luger to some hemp rope. At the other end of it, I would fasten a cord to a half-filled jug of water. I planned on suspending the jug in midair right above the river. After pulling the trigger, the gun would then automatically be ripped from my hand, and into the Pillsbury River it would go, floating away with the jug. The current, where the river was, cascades for miles. I also put a small hole in the jug, allowing it to sink in due time, so it would never be found. No weapon, no suicide dot. It would remain a mystery. I gather my plan, based on everything you've told me so far, seems to have worked. It's incredibly ingenious. I had a long time to think about this, Jacob. And I'm sorry. I took advantage of our situation to learn about the future. In fact, I wanted to know if my plan had succeeded. You know, until today, our conversations had rather convinced me to go forward with my plan. I almost saw it as a sign of fate. I'm glad to have met you, Sarah.
I'm happy too, Jacob. You saved my life, you know?
In another life, we might have been really close friends. I really wish I had a friend like you, Jacob. I would have liked that too.
We only have a couple of minutes left. I think it's time to say goodbye.
Take care of yourself, Sarah. Wait, I have a favor to ask of you. Anything. You made me forsake my plans. Now I would like you to forsake yours. You don't have to end your life tomorrow by killing Billy White. Please, Jacob. I'll think about it. You would get killed for nothing, Jacob. Even though I can't be with you, I would be happier to know that you have a life somewhere in the future. I too really think about it. And please, Jacob, I would really. Sarah? The talkie goes silent, and with it, what was left unsaid. The intermittent radio crackles fade towards emptiness, quietly retreating from where they came. What you hadn't noticed while conversing with Sarah there on the fresh couch, blood, was a small null puddle of... You quickly head to the bathroom and examine the seeping wound. Unwrapping the gauze causes your skin to break, the scab coming off with the bandage. By now, it looks pretty bad, like it's infected. You apply some pressure to it with a Kleenex, swabbing the gash with isopropanol. And something pops. The pain is excruciating, and you become white as a ghost. It causes shockwaves throughout your entire body, and then, before long, it dissipates, totally numbing your senses. Emily used to stitch missing buttons with a sewing kit she had. With your trembling fingers, you run over the edge of your wound, and after dipping the needle in the remaining alcohol, you proceed to clumsily sew the gash. What you hadn't expected, not by a long shot, was it seemed to be working fine. And ironically, you feel little pain. You feel almost nothing. You're numb to the bone. The pathetic patchwork is holding its own. You finish the job by rewrapping the old bandage with a new one. As you look at yourself in the mirror, the reflection staring back at you is hazy and erratic, and you're not sure if the cause is from the morphine or the injury. Probably both. Damn it! You still look like a fucking mummy, but at least it's a slightly better version of the old one. A thought crosses your mind. If Sarah never committed suicide, then the article surrounding her death should have vanished. You nervously turn on the computer. You come across the same article. It's still there in the archives. How is that possible? Did she kill herself despite everything she said? Or was something else going on? Could she be alive in a parallel universe, in another dimension? You remember reading an article bridging this exact subject. It was on parallel dimensions. The article stated that if humans could travel to the past, it wouldn't affect the future. In essence, modifying the past would simply create a temporal breach in the time continuum. It wouldn't alter the present. Otherwise, it would be tantamount to embarking on different avenues marked out by endless possibilities. A deep sadness sets in, down in those areas where the current runs deep, like on the far side of the ocean. If she's alive in another dimension, it matters little. She's dead in this one, which matters a lot. Just like Emily and Chloe. Your energy plummets, zapping your strength, and your shoulders droop. Despair, like a transient shadow, is there lurking in the darkness, silently waiting for you. You sink into a deep sleep, collapsing on the worn-out living room sofa. Suddenly, you're thrust forward in the dead of night. You hear intense pounding, building momentum. It startles you, and it's coming from the porch, the back door. You glance at the clock, midnight. Who is it? What do you want? Do you have any idea what time it is? As you jump to your feet, you feel the blood rush to your head and you see stars, despite the fact you have a roof over your head. It causes the pounding in your temples to resume, like the pounding at the door. At this hour of the night, well after midnight, it would only be normal to be somewhat apprehensive, but you're not. You just couldn't care less anymore. You struggle to get to the door and open it without hesitation. Scott Kellerman points a barrel directly where you're standing, right in your face.
We have to talk, neighbor.
End of day 5.